So welcome. Today we will discuss about pros and cons of urbanization. Pros and cons means benefits and negative impacts. Yes. What are the adverse impacts of urbanization and what are the positive impacts of urbanization? So we have heard about many adverse impacts of urbanization. What are the adverse impacts of urbanization? Let's list them first. Yes? Anyone with any adverse impact of urbanization? Yes?
The congestion increases. There is very less space where they live.
Yes,
to move around.
congestion. Congestion is one of the adverse impacts of urbanization. Congestion in cities. Overpopulation or congestion. Overpopulation leads to congestion. Overpopulation leads to congestion. Congestion in cities. So what does it do? What congestions do? Yes.
So for the peace of mind, one needs a
Peace
space.
of mind is affected. Yes, and
Natural areas are cut off from the cities. There is building all around. Green spaces are limited.
green spaces are limited. Green spaces are
leading to
limited.
pollution.
Green spaces and only green spaces. Yes, green spaces and
Agricultural land is gone.
yes,
Limitation of agricultural area.
limitation of agriculture area. Yes, agricultural area is reduced. Agricultural area reduced. Agriculture area is reduced due to
Shortage of water.
increase in built up area.
Water shortage.
Water shortage, yes. Water shortage is there. Primarily in slum areas, water shortage is there. Yes. And development of slums is also an adverse impact of development of slums is also an adverse impact of urbanization. Yes, isn't it? And any other point?
Poor
Leading to all kind of pollution.
Kind of
Pollution.
pollution. Yes, pollution, air pollution, different types of pollutions, air pollution. You see the board?
Yes, sir.
Can you read which I am writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So pollution, different types of pollution. And what is pollution? Can you define pollution for me?
Impurities in any
Impurity. Any other word? Yes.
unwanted substance.
Unwanted, undesirable substance in the environment, in your immediate and far environment. Undesirable is the key word. Undesirable. Because take example of music. Music is not a pollution. But if you are trying to concentrate on something, trying to focus on something, perhaps if you are in class, then music is undesirable there. You want to hear, and music is disturbing that. So it is undesirable. So there is one more type of pollution here, noise pollution. What does noise pollution do? Noise is a very important congestion and noise and lack of green spaces green spaces and open spaces. Not only green spaces are important, open spaces are also important, isn't it? Open spaces are important or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, open spaces are important. So these are negative impacts of urbanization. What are
So
the
rise in land cost.
land costs?
Price.
Yes, increasing land costs. Yes, very valid point. Increasing land costs. Land insecurity is there. Increasing land costs. It increases phenomenally in some areas. But basically in downtown CP area, center of the city, it increases overwhelmingly. It goes sky high. You cannot afford a plot in center point. It is very expensive. And any other point?
Sir, it leads to endangered species.
It leads to endangered.
Species.
Yes, biodiversity is
Species.
affected. Yes, species. Yes, some species are being extinct because of encroachment of urban area, urban system. Some species are endangered. Yes, loss of biodiversity, loss of natural life, and biodiversity.
So most of the areas are mortared from cement, which
Yes.
which hinders the percolation of water into the aquifer.
Yes, aquifers are reduced. Why aquifers are reduced? Why water table is going down?
As one of the cons is congestion, which builds the cemented area all around.
Cemented,
upper surface.
we call it built up area. Yes,
So, which actually covers all the upper soil with built up area. So there is no seepage areas or the population areas left over much of the area. Hence,
any other reason? Yes, Nawaz. So throw some light on
we
it.
actually prefer.
Yes, Ruman. Yes.
Sir, concretization of the land.
What of the land?
So concretization of the land.
Concretization. We call it built up
Reduces
area.
the population.
Yes, we are changing the landscape, land use and landscape of the erstwhile green area, and we are replacing natural landscape with built up area. What does it do?
Sir, it leads to urban floods. Reduces the population
Yes,
capacity.
it leads to urban floods. Why it leads to urban floods? It's urban floods. It increases floods, urban floods. It's a spatial phenomenon.
So also the temperature of the urban area.
Why floods are more dangerous in urban areas?
Because the drainage system is not that well, and apart from that, when we concretize the land, the population.
When we
capacity-
concretize and when we line the drainage system,
Yes, sir.
so water cannot go in. In rural areas, the drainage is not lined, so the water goes deep down and it disposes up. But in urban areas, it is lined. So if water supply is more than a certain level, then it overflows. And if the flood is there, the situation becomes very dangerous. So yes,
So concretization adds one more thing, that in the urban areas the temperature drastically increases because it absorbs more and more temperature, which actually surrounding temperature is increasing.
yes, because yes, Yatif, you are right. Because of built-up area, the temperature of the urban area is more. It increases, and it starts to act like an island, heat island. Have you heard about heat island? Yes,
Yes, sir.
it becomes a heat island, island of warm area or hot area. There is a heat island. It becomes a heat island. These are buildings, and it becomes a heat island on the horizon. The temperature inside that area is more than other area, more than countryside or rural area. That is a very, very bad situation. So our cities are becoming like a heat island because of absorption of heat, absorption of sun's energy in due to built up area. So what can we do?
We could take cutting of trees also.
Yes, one reason is
Temperature.
yes, cutting of trees. We have recklessly cut down the trees. We have recklessly reduced the green area in cities. So open spaces are important and green spaces are important in cities. There should be a green belt, green circle in our cities. There are many, in some cities there are some very important urban greens. In Aligarh, is there any green area inside the city? Yes.
The parks.
Naqvi Park is there.
Yes, sir.
It is called Jawaha Park now. Naqvi Park, it works as a urban green. In Chennai, there is a national park inside the city. In Bangalore, there is a national park in the city. There are many urban
In
greens.
Maharashtra, RA forest.
Yes.
RA forest case is there in Maharashtra.
In which city?
I do not remember. I think in Mumbai.
Oh, yes. So, and if you go to Europe, there are many green areas of urban forests, you can call. There are many urban forests which are preserved, and they work as the ventilators or lungs of the city. Yes, any someone pointed out the water scarcity. Why this water scarcity is there in cities?
So mainly we depend on
Because
the
of the-
aquifer. If the aquifer will go down,
Yes, Satyat, yes.
so if the water level will go down in aquifer, then water
Yes,
scarcity.
but why this so? Why it is happening?
Because it takes recycle, less recycle.
Everyone is trying to inject one pipe and pump out and use unlimited water resource.
Can you give a scientific name to that phenomenon?
Boring,
Recycle
What we
is
have, yes,
also
yes,
recycle.
recycling. Actually, we have disturbed the natural water cycle. There is a natural water cycle. We use the water, it goes up, it comes as a rain, and it is we use that. The earth absorbs some water, and some water goes to the streams and rivers. But we have impeded that cycle. We have disturbed that natural water cycle. Why? How we have impeded that natural water cycle? Or disturbed that natural water cycle?
yes, sir.
Because of, yes, how that natural water cycle,
So because of different factors, cutting of trees
Built up
and
area.
built up areas,
cutting of trees and
Built
yes,
up area,
and
sir.
and what I think is saying built up area.
any other word, any other name to that phenomenon? Yes, Prashant. Any other name to that phenomenon? Yes. Any other name to that phenomenon? We are overusing our water reservoirs, our groundwater. We are overusing. So why we use water? What is the work of water? Yes.
So it's an
Basic.
It is a coolant. Yes. It is a cleaning agent and
Solvent.
it is a coolant. We cool things, we reduce the temperature of overheated things or machineries or something by water, because the water capacity to contain heat is high, one of the highest in water. We used to clean by water. Why we use water for cleaning?
So air cannot be go in every corners.
We can use any other liquid. Why we use water?
It's not that abundance which can be used.
Any other answer? Yes, Israr. Why we use water? Is there any benefit or any advantage of using water as a cleaning agent?
So it's
Because it is universal solvent.
It is, yes, Varisha?
Universal solvent.
Yes, it is in universal solvent. Almost it is universal solvent. It dissolves anything. So it dissolves the impurities and dirt and other unwanted chemicals and matter. It is a universal, it is most efficient in solving these impurities, and so we use water, and it is available everywhere. So we use water as a coolant, water as a cleaning agent, and yes, one more use over. There are three principal uses of water in our
cheaply
ecosystem.
available.
Use. Yes, Sajid. Is there any other use of water? There are three main uses of water. There are many uses of water. There are innumerable ways. But there are three basic headings in which we use water. That is a medium, that is a transport medium. Be inside our bodies or be inside cities, it is a natural transport medium. We transport goods and other things through water. It's a natural highway, a natural water highway. So we use for transport. Now we have reduced that transport to some extent in India, but there was a very good system of water channels in which we used to ply boats and other things. So these are many negative impacts of water. Negative impact of urbanization. Any other negative impact of urbanization? We discussed about.
So in urban areas,
Yes.
every hazard, be it natural or man-made, it can be easily converted into a disaster because
Yes.
of unplanned urbanization.
Why
and
any
overpopulation.
hazard can be converted to disaster?
Sir, because of unplanned urbanization and overpopulation.
Unplanned urbanization and overpopulation, overwhelming population, overwhelming pressure on city system or ecosystem. Yes. And any more?
Less passes of water supply.
Less passage of water. Yes. We have impeded the natural flow of water. Yes. And any more? Any social negative points? Any social negative impact of urbanization?
So increase in crime rates.
Increase in crime rate.
Crime rate.
Yes. Can
Sir,
you?
increase in
Yes. Increase in
drug consumption.
what consumption?
Drugs consumption.
I cannot hear you properly.
Drugs.
Drugs.
Drugs consumption. Okay. Yes. A drug menace is there in cities. Why people take drugs? And it is related to crime. Yes. It is related to the point.
Psychological
Sorry,
impact
stress.
of alcohol.
Psychological reason. Why? What psychological reason?
Because of the noise pollution, congestions, people don't have that social contacts in
Yes,
cities.
yes. We don't have these social outlets of frustrations and psychological problems. So, what we do? We take drugs. Some people take drugs to relieve of that frustration. And yes,
I think this is due to
someone
greatness of
pointed
people.
out crime. Yes, Shanu.
I think your
Reason for the
drug
crime.
consumption is due to greatness and it's related to financialism.
Yes. These are the reason also. Yes, you are right.
The reason for the
But
crime.
crime is more in urban areas or rural areas? That is the
It will
question.
be in urban areas because everyone wants more and more money. There is more economic disparities in urban areas. So not everyone also gets the opportunity to earn at proper time. So the shortcut method they opt for is to involve in crime
To
activities.
crime. Yes. There are some more reasons.
Accidental loss, accident case,
Yes.
accident,
Why there is
rise in
yes? Why there is more crime in urban areas? If it is so, if there is more crime in urban area than rural areas, then why it is so? What may be the possible reasons?
So people
Yes.
from rural area come to urban area for their livelihood, but due to some problems, due to unemployment, they don't get proper job, and because of that, for their existence, for their living livelihood, they try to invade anywhere. They try to kill somebody or murder, and they
Yes, Varisha, you are right. These are valid points. Yes.
and also because of establishing power.
Also because of
Establishing power.
power, people are power hungry.